an idea you're looking to execute? Do you think of a business that you would like to roll out, but you've just been thinking, sitting there, not knowing exactly where to go, right? Going in every and any direction. So, what could really make those ideas become successful for you to make money? I guess it's the kind of question that many of you have been asking, right? Guess what? I've gone through exactly the same step, and I want to discuss this topic right today, right? So, good morning, everybody. So, again, my name is Tony T. I'm the founder here of Renewables in Africa, and we are your global clean energy champion. What we want to do is to demystify the sector for you, and more specifically in this platform, this one today on Friday at 1 p.m. GMT time. What we want to do is just to talk about the business of running a renewable energy business so that we can teach you and show you how you can make money, right? Because that's all about. Because the more successful businesses or entrepreneur we have in the space, the more we're able to expand the industry. And that is what we want to be doing, right? Excellent. And in fact, what we say is actually, if you like what we're doing, there's three things that I like you to do. Yeah, you can definitely subscribe already. Yeah, if you haven't done it yet, that's the time to do it. You just press the bell notification as well if you're on YouTube to make sure that you follow us on a daily basis. Because we actually broadcast from 5 platforms. So we have LinkedIn, we have YouTube, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, and we have Telegram. So whichever one you want to follow, which one do you like? Just use that one. But ideally, I like you to follow all of them, right? And connect, because it may be that one of the platform does not work for you, but you're still able to connect with us. Or you want to say also, actually, I don't know, I just fancy just following Tony and Renewables in Africa everywhere, which is also great. We love it, right? So, and we say thank you for that. And the second thing that I like you to do is to leave a comment, because what I like and what I particularly enjoy and why we actually run that on a weekly basis, 3 times a week session like that, is because I like the interaction. I like knowing what you guys are talking about, exchanging, and also learning myself. Because I'm learning a lot just listening from you guys, right? And that's what I also really enjoy, right? So that's great. And the third thing, what I say is definitely share. Share what you're learning with other people, so more people can learn and more people can have, obviously, I would say the good information, the right information for them to make step forward, right? And for them to launch money making renewable energy business. That's what I really would want. Okay, that's excellent. So I'm talking about this topic because actually in the course of this week, which is very typical for what I get on a regular basis, I had conversation with 3 people. I think they. Oh, 1 second. What I have, I yeah, like I said, I talked to 3 people, and all of them actually have businesses that they either launching, have launched, or thinking of launching, right? And as you're discussing with them, you tend to be seeing kind of the same kind of behavior, right? And you thinking, you can't help but saying, okay, have you done this? Have you done this step, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of myself into them. And the key thing of what we do and what we love doing is also looking at how can we share some nuggets, right? Some tips and hints for you that are on the way, or maybe already on the way as well, to help get things moving forward. Because not just me, because I think I have to say I'm still on my journey. That's the way I see myself. But I also had the luxury of talking to a lot of very successful entrepreneurs, successful companies, and you're looking at how they're doing things, and that's where you're learning, right? And a lot of people maybe not having this exposure, not having this information, and information for me that can make you save a lot of money and allow you not to waste, or lose a lot of money also at the same time. So what are those steps that we're talking about? That is what I like to discuss with you. So if you happen to be listening just right now, so drop me a comment. So leave me a message and tell me whether you have a particular question that you want me to respond to, or whether you have maybe one angle that you want to present. So let me know. Let me know, right? That the whole idea is to be able to bounce and exchange ideas like that and see what you think. And I know there's people watching me because I could see that there. I could see in the count there. So definitely. So we definitely have at least people on both YouTube, on Facebook watching, and also LinkedIn as usual. So we'll love it. So just let me know what you think. So according to you, what are the steps that we need to launch a successful business, or basically a money making business? Because that's the whole idea, like I say. So especially in the space, we usually struggle a lot from what I call the savior syndromes. I'm sure you heard me say that before. We know that we are in a very virtuous industry, yeah, and we want to save the world. You can see that as our COP27, right? COP27 become more and more popular, right? And then, but because of that, we sometimes believe that everybody think the same. And when we come up with a business, with an idea, people just gonna jump into it, and buy it, and off we go. That's how we actually get things to work, right? Which is far from being the case. I'm sure you've seen me saying that before. The best known beats the best. You need to make sure that your product is known, right? So that's kind of a thing. But like I said, so I talked to many businesses, right, and free over the course of last week, and they were exposing their ideas to me, right, and like I say, I could see some of the pitfall, and obviously I gave them some advice, and some of them obviously they're planning on working with us, which is great, which is something that you may be doing as well. If you have an idea, feel free to reach out. So we definitely have program that could be helpful for you, and because the regular sort of because that's not the first time, right? So it's pretty much on a weekly basis that I have this kind of conversation. That I thought that let me bring this topic into the flow and see what people have to say, and let's maybe discuss that. So I want to talk to you about the 3 steps that for me are essential for you to be running or launching a money-making business, right? 3 simple step, very simple. And I'm saying simple because I've done me the other way around. I've done the other way around at the beginning, and it lost me a lot of time, a lot of money. I don't want you to be making those mistakes. Yeah. If you're gonna save you, avoid you making those mistakes, don't you think it would be very useful for you? I'm sure you will, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, feel free to drop a message or comment if you want to also share the video, because this is gonna be only up until half one, because I want to keep it relatively short and succinct. Because some of you may be just having their lunch break at the moment. Yeah. So what are those 3 steps? So those 3 steps for me, the first step, really, I see it's very paramount. Okay, it's for you to have an idea. Okay, that's great. I'm sure you have a lot of idea. I'm sure you can tell me, okay, Tony, how come this is the first step? So what is new about that? So the novelty, or maybe the special thing about that for me, is that it's not just about having an idea. It's for you to focus on an idea. I think on a regular basis, and I talk to people, they always have, oh, I'm running this idea. I have this other one I'm working on, and the other one I'm working on. You dispersing yourself. Trust me, you dispersing yourself. That for me already is a red flag. Yeah. Especially if many of you are thinking or wanting to either find an investor and a partner, which is exactly what most of the people actually, when they talk to me, want that. They want money, but also more than money as well. They want people that maybe can work with them, support them, so that they're not on their own and they can learn from the person. And I'm saying as well, so how would you feel if I come to you and say, hey, listen, Landry, or maybe I don't know, Landry's not a good name, yeah, because that's the guy I'm working with. I don't want to mention his name. So let's say, for example, okay, John. Hey, John, I like you to listen to the business idea that I have. I like you to potentially invest, maybe be my partner. Yeah. And I start describing to you what the idea is going to be. I'm interested to say, oh, at the same time as well. So I have another idea about this app that's very interesting. That's very great. I'm also working with this guy. Oh, I have this. No, guys. And most of the time, people are actually telling you that they already have another job. They have like a 9 to 7 job. And you start thinking, guy, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if the person you're talking to, whether the investor or the partner that you want to bring on board, if that person happens to be an entrepreneur, immediately he will see the red flag. So how come you're already multitasking? You're not even there yet. You're already diversifying. No, because it needs so much energy at the beginning just to get an idea to get an idea off the ground. So you can't be running many things at the same time. My advice is only my advice. Again, you are free to do whatever you want to do with that, but that's my advice. You got to focus on one thing. You really have to focus on one thing. Focus is clarity. Very, very important. Now, you may be asking the questions, okay, what happened, Tony, if I have many ideas? Just pick the one that is the most sensible, or the one you care the most about, and the one as well you believe can take you to money quickly compared to the others, right? But you gotta focus on one, and you gotta give it your full, undivided attention, because that's what business requires. That's what money requires. Absolutely. Because, like I say, whatever effort that you're thinking, most of the time you end up having to deploy more effort, 2 times more or 3 times more effort than what you anticipated. Yeah. So you can't be having more ideas running over direction. You just can't. You just can't. I'm saying. So that's the first step for me. You gotta focus. Focus on this idea, give it your full attention, and go after it. Okay, if you have many ideas, maybe you may decide, okay, I want to give myself a certain amount of time to look at that, maybe a year or two. Or by the way, when I start to focus, don't tell me that I'm just gonna look at that 6 months. That's it. No. If you're really serious about what you want to do, you're gonna give it a full year, yeah, and work on the thing. Absolutely. Unless the 2 step lead you to change course quickly. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about, right? And what is then the second step after you've decided to focus? Yeah. So I'll tell you, for example, me, renewables energy. So, like I said, many of you will been following me for some time, I believe. Yeah. So you know that I've started developing an interest into the sector 2008. Yes, 2008, right? So I've done a lot of things around the sector, but because I was looking at the right business model for myself, right? But that was my interest there, right? So yeah. So that's it. You gotta start by that one idea. So the second thing for me, that's also what I see. A lot of people, when then they have an idea, they come across that one idea, that's great. So they will look at that from multiple angles. Oh, I want to improve this, I want to do that, it has to be great. I want to, they're looking for the perfect product. Yeah, they want to have the perfect product. They spend hours and hours. They say, okay, so have you started talking to people about your idea? I know I don't want people to steal my idea. Oh, I know it's too early. So okay. So oh no, let me first of all take it to that stage before I can move to the next one. I say, okay. So from experience, what I've seen and what I've learned as well, by the way, guys, what I'm sharing with you, like, those are lessons that I have learned from being in the game, but also I have learned from people that are a lot more successful than me. And that's what I'm saying. If when you actually learn with this guy, you understand that, wow, if you don't know this kind of thing, you can end up spending years and years and years in business and becoming frustrated and not making any money at all, right? So that's why getting those information, getting people that have done it before you, listening to them, right? Immersing yourself in this kind of environment, it's so valuable. But I'm saying that second step for me that you should be doing. Yes, it's good to be thinking about your idea, right? But immediately, don't forget that if you want to make it a business, that's the clue. You want to make it a business and make money. That's what we're talking about here. So you need to already start thinking about, what are my offers? Essentially, that's my idea. Now, what is the offer around that? What is that I'm offering to who? To who, right? To whom am I offering this? Yeah. So you want to start thinking about that. Yeah. Let's say, for example, if you're saying you want to design, what kind of example could I say? I want to design a new SaaS system that's going to be useful in the sector, maybe to improve, I don't know, improve maybe the customer acquisitions. Yeah, I'm just making this up, right? So I'm thinking about that. So quickly, so before even moving and diving too much into the design, I need to start thinking, okay, now what's going to be the offer around that? What is that? Am I really going to offer really to who? Is it going to be to EPCs? Is it going to be to developers? Is it going to be to investors? Is it going to be to all these guys? And what I'm offering to them, is it going to be a subscription model or not? So how is it going to? It's going to be a one-off. Just have an idea. It doesn't need to be perfect, but you already need to understand what is the route to market quickly and what is the route to money. How are you going to make money with it? Because not all ideas are good, by the way. I'm sure you know that, right? Some ideas are just not. I think it's difficult to monetize it. Then the question becomes, is it a hobby a distraction, or do you want to make it a business? If you want to make it a business, that suppose that there needs to be a path for you to go to the money. So that's what I'm saying. Immediately before you start diving into how you're going to develop it, how you're going to understand, first of all, is it the path to money there? If I can see the path to money, then I continue. If I can't see the path to money, guys, do you really want to continue? That's what I'm saying. That I've said, okay, you want to focus on an idea, at least spend 12 months on it. Yeah. So if you say that there's no path to money that is evident or almost impossible to find, do you really want to spend the next 12 months there? No, maybe that's the time to move to your next idea if you have that next idea, or maybe just stick to where you are. If that's what it's all about. But understand that path to money is important. Why? Simply because as well, the way for you when you look at that for that business, especially now, if you're thinking about going later and engage some investor, that's what the investor, what the investor will be thinking about. Okay, you presenting that to me because you want my money. For me, you want my money. I'm happy to give you my money as long as you can tell me that I'm gonna make money with it. You're gonna have some. I'm gonna have some returns. So he's thinking, okay, where's the money there? Where is the money in the idea? That's what I'm saying. You already, if you're thinking about that, but have some sort of a good understanding what the offer gonna be, to which customer. Understand that it's important. So you have those offers, right? That's important. Okay, I'm gonna have a SaaS system. The SaaS system gonna help customer acquisitions, for EPCs, for developers, because I know they're struggling to find those investors. Then that's great. I know that SaaS system, most likely when I look at what other people are doing, I know that I can ask for, I don't know, maybe ask them to subscribe to that because I need to have the volume. I may say that SaaS system, the first couple of months, is going to be free, and after that, you're going to be paying, on an annual basis or monthly basis. Annual subscription is what? It's something like a $75 because I found out obviously. No, okay, let's say monthly subscription is like $75. That's what I found. Most of the other SaaS system we run into. Obviously, if you take a 12-month plan, you can have a discount, and I will set it to this guy. And when I run it, I know that I most likely want to attend a number of seminars, conferences, to go and reach out to people I believe are going to be my prospect, my customers, start talking to them and see what they're saying. Yeah. And I've already moved to the third step. If you were very careful, you probably don't know that third step, but when I say that, it will be evident to you. So that's how you need to be thinking. So if you're thinking about that, then yeah, you're giving your chance to bring to life something that makes sense. I'm hoping that I am sense to you, right? So, and the final step is to start promoting, which is counterintuitive because most of the time when I speak to people, say, "Oh no, I want to start promote the business when I've reached that state, when it's well developed, of why people are gonna start thinking, oh yeah, I think what is he talking about? I'm not gonna be looking serious." But what I'm saying, you want to start the promotions as soon as possible. Yeah. I'm sure you still don't understand what I'm saying. It's like, how can you talk about promotion when there's even nothing there? But promotion, right? It happened different stages. I'm not talking about a full-blown promotion, but there's some level. For example, when you go to a conference, you start meeting people talking about it. That's promotion to me. That's promotion. You start doing it. Or you may be having some thought leadership articles that you drop in there. You start developing the idea. Why would you do that? According to you, if there's anybody listening, you can drop and let me know what you think. Why would you do that? Why would you go and do it? Two ways, two things, two immediate benefits that you can get from that. So the first immediate benefit that you get from from doing that is allow you to already test the market and to see the people you are targeting, whether they more or less receptive. You get already some feedback there. And because they give you those feedback, then they can help you to think about an aspect, one or two aspects that you've not looked at before that can allow you then to refine the product, right? They're sort of contributing to making this product the best product that actually the market may need. And you already start doing a promotion, you whetting the appetite of people. That's very important. Yeah. That's the immediate benefit that I could see. And also it helps you to validate whether what you have as an idea makes sense or not, right? You also value, you want to stick around for 12 months, as I'll say, or not. Yeah. So that's the first straight benefit that I could see that you get out of it. So the second straight benefit that you get as well for me, and I was saying that to the gentleman I was talking to yesterday, which was also another guy, has a brilliant idea. And when I mentioned that to him, so I've never thought about that. But guys, it allows you just to collect already some data point, right? Right, to create some data point, because it's good to be making assumption. It's good to be having a good reflection, a strategy. At the end of the day, you need evidence. Evidence, that's what you need. First for yourself, then for your partner, whoever is your partner, and then maybe for the investor. Investor will say, okay, yeah. And like I said, usually people, what they don't realize is when you want to convince investor, yeah, as opposed to just coming, pitching them the idea, going to every direction, which I don't say it doesn't work. I'm sure it works many times. You go sometimes Silicon Valley, it works, right? So for this guy, that great idea. But what I'm saying, you could make things a lot easier for you, yeah, simply by going and running a little pilot, collecting some data point. And then you come back to Mr. Investor. Hey, Mr. Investor, I have this idea. You take maybe just a couple of minutes, elevator pitch, just to discover what is it. Oh, my idea is to design a SaaS system that's going to help people in the industry to better collect customer, right? So, customer is a very tough one, but my SaaS will help you really do that in a split second. By the way, Mr. Investor, I know it's going to cost a certain amount of money, but what I've done, I've actually designed a very early pilot. I've tested already. And I brought that to the market. So went to a conference. That conference, we had about 200 people that were there. So I had a early version, free version. So I had I had a sample of 50 people that obviously had to play with that, and out of those 50 people, so I had feedback from them. On an average, from the feedback, 60% say that they are very interesting. So that actually sort of convinced me, reassuring me that what I'm thinking, it's does make sense, and the market seems to be receptive. So the whole idea that I want to do, coming back to you, it's how can you help me take this pilot into mass market, and you look a lot more credible to the investor. And on top of that, if you can then add now some figures on that, say that let's imagine that from those 50 guys that I had, yeah, if each of them were able to pay, I don't know, $100, what that means, that same event I would have made, so 5,000. 5,000 out of one event, because I managed to convince, I get people to sign up. I get people to sign up maybe for a year. I don't know, something like that. I'm just making that up. Something like that's what I'm saying. So now if you imagine I go to 100 events, yeah, that's 5,000. That will, it's become 500,000. So that's what I'm saying, how you will want to do the thing. So those are the third step, the three step. Yeah. So let me just summarize that for you. I'll say the first thing, you want to focus. Really focus your idea. Just get one run, at least for 12 months. Work on it. Don't come, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now, that for me already is a red flag. Yeah. And I promise you, especially if you're running a 9 to 5, you're already very busy. How would you have time to run another two business? You just can't. You gotta focus on one. Yeah. Second thing, you want to make sure that you already design what are the offers around that. What is the route to the money? How I'm making money, so that you don't get stuck later on. Because business is very simple. You have a product, you sell it. Is it a product or service? You sell it, people buy it, right? What is the offer look like? So what is the route to market? Have some clear understanding for that, so that it makes sense even for you, whether what you're saying it's reasonable. And then the third step for me, start promoting as early as possible. Many ways you can do that. Don't go for the full-blown promotion. That's not what I'm talking about. But testing out the market, run some leadership article, excellent. What we're doing, for example, Renewables in Africa, in our awareness program, we have our flagship awareness program, specializing in three things. What we give you is the visibility to make sure that obviously you get exposed. You can then, it become easier for you to reach out to people you want to reach out to. The second thing, you get the leads that you want. Yeah. And the third thing, you get the sales that you want. or if it's investors, you get exposed, you get the leads, and you get the possibility to connect with the investor that you want. That's what our program is all about, and that's what I'm saying that you want to be focused on. And when you do those 3 steps, for me, you have a lot more chances, better chances to connect with, to come up with a money making business. So I have Philip Asa who reached out to me. I think Philip, we had a conversation this week, isn't it? Yeah. So I think when I was talking about the 3 people I talked to, I didn't even count you. That's 4 now. Hey Philip, great to see you. So I'm just gonna take a couple of questions after that. I'm just gonna wrap up because I just want to make it short. So Philip, I think thanks for watching. I appreciate that. I think you're joining from Ghana. Yes, he's confirming we had a conversation this week. Excellent. So hopefully you found it very useful. So those 3 steps. So would you agree, not agree with that? So or do you have a question, Philip? Yeah. So I can respond to that. We have a couple of minutes before I can close the events. Any questions, Philip? Yeah. It's always good to good to see you. Because like I say, that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing, because I know there's a number of you out there. So yeah. By the way, do like what Philip did to me. So what Philip did, he just reached out to me, sent an email, talked about what he wants to do, and we discussed about what we can potentially do, how we can help him, using our program, our awareness program, and also our support program. So yeah, so do exactly what he wants to do. So don't just suffer in silence. Yeah. So I just joined not quite long. Okay, no problem. So what you do, Philip, and also for all the other people that would join either now or just recently, this is obviously recorded, right? You just go on the LinkedIn, you have it, you make sure as soon as it's done, you'll be able to go back and watch it, right? So again, so, and that's the reason, and hopefully that will help you move along. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you follow those 3 steps, as I mentioned, yeah, a lot better idea. Because Philip, your idea. So we talked about, like I say, number 1, you want to focus on one thing. Don't do 100 things. You won't have time. Especially as I know, for example, Philip, you have a 9 to 5. So I'm saying you're already very busy. You're also running a family, most likely, or even if you don't run a family, you have a family, a wider family, or you're part of the family, so you have some responsibilities, most likely. That's why I'm saying your time is very constrained. So you don't have the luxury of running multiple projects at the same time. You get focused on one idea. You start designing the offer around that. Like I say, you want to understand what is the offer I'm going to give to the people. Who am I going to give the offer to? So what is the route to the market? That's what how where is the money coming? It has to be relatively clear. You may not have all the details, but it has to be relatively clear how you want to monetize it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the offer. Third thing, as I say, you start promoting, because the promotions allow you to figure out whether or not the markets, there's a response from the market, right? And allow you also to and that allow you to validate or invalidate your idea, get you to stay on course, or move or move or change direction. And like I say, it helps you as well when you pitch to the investor, not just pitching with words, but when possible, bringing them evidences. And they love this kind of thing. So when you do those things for me, then you sort it. So you have the magic formula, to launch money making business, and then obviously the rest will be history. I know I've simplified that, but those are essentially the 3 steps that you're following. So yeah, so I'm sure you're gonna ask me, have I followed that? Yeah, like I say, all that I'm telling you guys, that from my experience, from other people I've been listening to and I've been following. So hopefully it makes sense, guys. So as I say, the Renewables and Money program show on Friday, we're keeping it very tight. So yeah, so I know you're busy, but pleasure as usual to catch up with you. So don't forget that on Sunday we have another live, and in that live we're talking to a big company, a representative from a very big company. We're going to be talking about data center. So you want to be watching that. It's going to be an interesting conversation. So quick questions. As a young person with lots of idea, how do you select one to focus? How do you select one to focus? Well, let me just answer this question very quickly. So, as I'll say, look at the one that seems to make a lot more sense to you, a lot more sense to you, I would say, yeah. And then and go and just see whether the market also tends to react to that. I mean, go and get, and I think if you really also want to make money, if you have ideas that equally appeal to you, yeah, then go with the one that most likely has a better chance of giving you the money, because it's all about getting the money for you to deploy. So, like I say, the way I look at that, you know, if you have billions, you have millions and billions. If you only have, hundreds, you can only help yourself. You can't go further than that. So it's about making sure that we live in a capitalist world. Yeah. So if they're equally as important, go with the one you believe has a better route to market. Yeah, make you the money quickly, and that later on, when you have a lot of money you've established, then you find time to come back to your other passions. That's what I would say. Okay, gotta wrap up here, guys, because I think I usually like to not like to overrun. So thank you for the questions, Philip. So I appreciate that, and thank you for joining. So you guys have a fantastic time. And like I say, we catch up on Friday. We have another great interview that we're gonna have talking about data center. And then all that's left for me to say, guys, as usual, pleasure talking to you, right? You have a fantastic end of the day. And may the sun be with you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.